limousines, taxis, private drivers, they'll never be able to compete with the apps, the rideshare apps, because of one main thing. I mean, you'll be able to get out there and make your money, of course, but you'll never be able to compete with them on a large scale because of one reason: convenience. I figured it out. It's really mainly convenience. A lot of people, especially for private drivers that aren't licensed, it's a lot of extra steps. You usually got to text them. You usually got to give instructions. They're not always available. And if they don't have their own app to schedule and book a ride, it causes a problem, because they want that immediate response from an app where they could just immediately get a ride quickly. And that's why I really thought about it. I was like, if you could come up with a way to create your own private license service and create your own app, and either use Square or one of these, or Stripe or one of these payment processes, even though you got to pay that small percentage, you still stand to make a lot more than using Uber and Lyft. The problem is that's not easy for all of us. And I know some people out there, they're smart enough. I was watching one guy in Minnesota. He happened to be one of those guys that's able to create his own app, not only for himself, but others. I'm just talking about, not even talking about rideshare for your state. I'm just talking about literally create a app where only people in your circle can use it, and the driver gets all the money. Like, you as a business owner gets all the money. And maybe you take a small percentage from people you allow to use your app. You know, you could take I'm thinking you could take probably just $10 a day from each person you allow to use your app, and it'll probably be worth it. But you yourself, this would be an amazing thing, because you would make, and obviously before you allow them to use your app, obviously you want them licensed with the commercial insurance and everything under your brand before you just turn them loose with your app. So you might only have like a select, maybe you and 3 other drivers. You stand to make tons more money, because you're getting 100%, almost 100%, maybe 98%, and the people under you are getting like at least 90% of the money, because that's what people are paying for. They're only paying for the convenience. And if you can have it where you have a guy at night, maybe you have a guy that drives to places you don't personally want to go, say to New York, or I personally don't want to go to Hartford or New Haven, but if you have partnered up with a driver that likes those areas and he wants to use your app while he's out and about, also using Uber and Lyft, you stand to make a lot more money. A lot more money. Just having your own app, because of the convenience. And I realized this because I got a recent cash ride, and the app was only going to pay me, I believe, $6. It was a quick trip. It literally was like 2 minutes away from the lady's house to a school, but the problem is she had to sit the driver had to sit there and wait for her to come out from dropping the kid off. And the app charged her the additional money. So now the app was paying me $10. Where she could have paid me $10 directly, I would have gotten all the money. I would have been happy to wait because she was my direct client or customer. And if I got $10, you got to think about that. What did she get charged? She didn't tell me, but she got charged extra for the app to pay me $10. I think this was on Lyft. So she probably got a bare minimum, got charged $15 for literally a 2-minute trip up the road from her house. So Uber would have hit her even harder. So just having your own app would change the game. I personally can't create my own app, but I'm noticing that there are softwares out there now, AI softwares, that help you have the ability to get closer, where it's a lot simplified. I haven't dabbled with them yet, I gotta be honest, but they could simplify the process where you could possibly build your own app. Now, if you take somebody that's experienced, you might have to pay somebody. I might have to pay somebody to create this myself for my own company in the future. But it's well worth the money in the long run if you could have the ability to have and get it on the app stores, where somebody could download your app for the passenger side, and the driver side, you could charge people for it. And if you're smart, you even charge yourself. Like me, if I was able to create this, and let's just say I'm charging $10 a day to log on to the app, it's almost worth it because I'm paying my own company, if that makes sense. So I'll pay the $10 a day, log into my own app. Or you could do it free. You could do it free in the beginning and later on modify that if it takes off, so that your drivers are logging in free, or a small amount. Let's just say $4.99 a day, just so that you're getting something for, because it's obviously going to cost money to get it on the app stores and stuff like that. And I would pay that, log in, use that driver app as if I was a regular driver for my own company. And it would change the game, because now you could actually tell your customers, well, we have our own app. It gives you more credibility as well, because they're not going to look at you as just a regular driver. They're going to look at you, oh, this guy's got a real company, he's got his own app. And if the app allows them to book a ride and charge a lesser fee to book a ride, say than Uber and Lyft, that's a plus as well. You got to charge them something, because these people will book a ride and then cancel on you, and somebody else wanted that same time slot, and now you're screwed. So you got to charge them something to book the ride. But you can make it a much smaller fee. You could just charge, say in the beginning, $4.95 or whatever, $4.99 or something, for them to book the ride early, and allow them to just order it and see who's available in the area as well. That could be a game changer. It really could. Because you could just do it for whatever city you're in, and then maybe later you can expand this for the whole state, and you would literally have a professional looking rideshare company with a lot more credibility. And they can still do Uber and Lyft. You don't want your drivers to not do Uber and Lyft. And you could possibly even rent them, give them the app free, because they might be renting your car or something to that effect. You'd be like, look, you renting my car per day, and we give you this app. And this app's going to help you get rides where you get paid, say 90%, 95% of the whole fare. A lot of drivers would do it. A lot of drivers would do it. I'm telling you. And even you could put it on, what you could do is drivers that say they own their cars, their own cars, you could add the commercial insurance. You could tell them they pay a little bit less, you add them the commercial insurance, and then you give them the app. You could do something like that as well. I'm trying to give you guys ideas that you could use in your own state, especially if you're one of these software guys that knows how to build your own software. This could be a game changer. This could be how you not only help yourself, but you help other drivers in your area. You could partner with other drivers and be like, look, we created our own app. You only got to pay this amount, or you don't even have to pay this amount. You could literally just pay for the commercial insurance, and we'll add you to our company app. So now it's legal because they're under your license. Could be a game changer. I don't think nobody else has thought about this idea. And people like the convenience. I get it. People could use Venmo, Cash App, but you're kind of, you don't have the same credibility when you're just using Venmo and Cash App. And you could probably even get away with doing something like similar to this, which I haven't checked now. Hit me in the comments if you checked, but you could probably get away with using one of these payment processors to schedule rides. Like you could possibly use Square, set up your website so they could schedule a ride right through your website and not even have to really build an app. I'm going to look in and do some research on that. That could be a possibility, where they literally just log into your website. They could book a ride through your website, and now that you can eliminate, all the texting and all that back and forth, because a lot of people are doing the cash rides where the people text them, I need a ride this time. To have them where they could book it right through your website. Your website charges them a fee to book it, and you could possibly work it that way. It's not going to give them the same instant gratification of booking a ride immediately with you, but that could be a possibility, because I know there's companies, I forget the name of one, Schedule-E, I think it's called, where people can schedule an appointment with you, and I believe has a payment processor in there where they could just be charged a certain amount. So it's probably doable with just a website. I just haven't really did the research and looked into it yet. But we got to find an easier way than just Cash App and Venmo, and because Cash App and Venmo are good if they're already in your car. But to get these people to schedule a ride, pre-schedule a ride with you, it's not as convenient as them going to like really an app would be ideal. People are more likely to use their phone than to go on a laptop or a computer. And some of these websites aren't as mobile friendly. But I'm pretty sure you could find one that is. Something to think about. Because we got to find a way to make it more convenient, especially if you get your own licensed company, partner with say 2 or 3 other drivers, and now you basically have a transportation company with credibility because it's branded to your company name. Whatever black or whatever private, It gives you a lot more credibility. People are going to take you a lot more serious than just an Uber and Lyft driver. And then they know you have your own commercial insurance. That's going to make it a big factor. And I'm thinking about how would you work it if they have their own car. You could possibly just have them just add rideshare insurance. Like, let's just say if they have Progressive. Now, you would have to have your commercial insurance for the whole company regardless, but like a driver that's not renting your cars, get them to get rideshare insurance so you know your passengers are protected that way, or commercial insurance, or however you got to do it. But I know regular insurance won't protect your passengers, so that's going to be a concern. So they got to at least have rideshare insurance, I'm thinking. But you can tell them, look, get the rideshare insurance. Have it where, I know Progressive does this, where you can have it where the insurance informs you when they lapse in coverage. So you can get on them and be like, yo, you lapse in coverage. You got to get this rideshare insurance, or I got to turn your app off, because you don't want to get sued. Somebody gets in an accident and they're not covered. But this could work. I'm thinking this could actually work. You tell them, look, you get the rideshare insurance. I'll let you use my app for free. It don't have to be free. You could charge them a small fee at that point if you want. They could use the app. They can get paid 90% as opposed to... And if you really want to spruce it up, like an actual transportation company, you have a number they could call, and you have a direct person picking up the phone and walkie-talkieing these people, or some means of communication that's instant, and be like, is anybody available to pick up so-and-so? Where you could have like a dispatch. Something to think about. Something to think about. You know, obviously this is going, you know, this is after you made some money. You know, maybe you got a grand or two, maybe a business loan, and you hire somebody, or the owner can be the dispatcher. I could be the dispatcher, and I could take the phone calls, have 3 drivers out there, anybody available to do this ride. Whoever's not available, I could possibly take that ride if it's somewhere in town. This could be a game changer as far as expanding a transportation company so we could get out of this rat race. You got to come up with ideas constantly, because, and I'm not telling you continue using Cash App, Venmo, however you're doing it, because some people are so programmed into using those. Like, I've met a lot of people that, because I no longer have a Cash App, I lost money. So I'm not telling you, if you have a transportation company, don't use those too. I'm just telling you, it's going to give you more credibility to have your own branded website or app that people could book rides directly through that device, where you could just be like, yeah, just log into my website or download my app. Boom. Gives you more credibility. They could book a ride. You get, 90 to 98%. You use something like Stripe to process it, or even Square, which is slightly more. You're still gonna keep more of your money at the end of the day. And I don't think nobody's talking about this, because not everybody likes or trusts Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I'm not even too sure. I use PayPal, but I'm not even too sure I trust them with all my company funds. Like, if I had to process all my money through PayPal, there's no way. There's no way. I've heard too many horror stories about not so much Venmo, but PayPal, like shutting locking up their money, for little stupid reasons. Cash App too. I'm hearing people, their money gets locked up. You know, they hold it and they don't tell you why. They don't give you a clear answer. This is why. And I don't like that. If you have your own app or your own website and you process through Stripe, I haven't heard Stripe like shutting anybody down playing these games. So, or you could have your own direct merchant account. The possibilities are endless. We got to start thinking outside the box, because we can't let Uber and Lyft control us. And we only got 5 more years. 5 more years of physical rideshare drivers. And that's it. So we got to start thinking out the box. There's always going to be people in the future even that don't trust automation. And I'm not trying to say we shouldn't, as company owners, not have automation. All I'm saying is we got to start thinking about the future. Thank you guys. If you want more ideas like this, subscribe, like, comment, and give me some more input. Comment below. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you guys in the next one.